Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Thomas. You're watching ABC10 This Week. We're investigating the home insurance crisis. We're getting answers on what you should do if your policy is canceled. Then in dollars and cents, how you can get part of a multi-million-dollar settlement for a popular streaming service. And we're hitting the back roads, the destination Fair Oaks, to visit a unique festival. ABC10 This Week starts now. We start tonight with continuing coverage as Sacramento State tries to join the Pac-12 Conference. ABC10 made a public records request, and we now have a copy of the agreement letter for new members of the conference.
That includes San Diego and Fresno State. It's a glimpse of what the future could look like for Sacramento State if they get in. ABC10's
Devin Truby has a closer look at the pros and cons.
ABC10 has obtained a copy of the agreement for new members of the Pac-12 through a public records request. It's for schools like San Diego and Fresno State, and it gives us a glimpse into the future of what things could look like for Sacramento State as they continue to pursue a position in the Pac-12. Going to the new Pac-12 conference will be a big commitment. According to the membership terms and conditions, schools are agreeing to be in the Pac from 2026 until June 30th, 2031, unless they negotiate a different date.
Complete transformation in the position of the university to play in a major sports platform like the Pac-12. So I would actually prefer it to be longer.
Should a school agree to be in the Pac but leave before joining in 2026, the penalties are huge. Leaving for the Big 12, ACC, SEC, or Big 10 will cost $30 million. If a school doesn't become a member for any reason after entering the agreement, they owe the Pac $40 million. We asked the Sac 12 committee, a group of local leaders spearheading the campaign, if this is concerning.
Sac State has already done FBS study and gone through the process of evaluating all this stuff already. This is absolutely a set of rules that we can meet.
There are several benefits. A school retains 50% of the revenue paid to the conference for college football playoffs, NCAA, and NCAA basketball tournaments.
It's an important business decision for Sac State. Being in the Pac-12 will allow us to be Title IX compliant. It'll allow us to pay for the programs that are non-revenue.
Currently, Sac State plays in the Big Sky Conference. According to the Big Sky Constitution, withdrawing with the proper one-year notice will cost $250,000.
We need to pay it. For it to happen, we will do it.
Reporting in Sacramento, Devin Truby, ABC 10.
Devin, thank you. We reached out to the Sacramento State Athletic Department for comment on the terms. They said they'd like to refrain from commenting at this time. A reminder, these terms could still change and schools can negotiate. Time now for Dollars and Cents, where I answer your money questions and help you navigate a changing economy. You might be getting some money back from a popular streaming subscription. If a proposed settlement's approved, certain Peacock customers could get some cash, and the deadline to apply is just around the corner. But an expert I talked with explains settlements like these raise some important questions you'll want to ask yourself before you decide to cash in.
This settlement is the result of a lawsuit filed last year, claiming some Peacock customers in California were charged for automatic renewals without the proper authorizations required in the state. According to this notice sent to customers, the court has not decided who is right. Peacock chose to settle this case without admitting liability, costing them nearly $4 million. You could get a piece of this money if you enrolled in an automatically renewing Peacock subscription directly through Peacock with a California billing address from September 15th, 2019 through February 27th, 2024.
How can viewers know if it's worth it for them to participate and cash in on a settlement like this?
First, you have to look at the dollar value.
According to the notice, if you qualify, you could get about $18.
Filling out all those forms and filling out a bunch of paperwork just to get that $18 is so tedious, is so cumbersome, is so time intensive.
So ask yourself, is it worth your time?
Some people will say, hey, I'll take the $18, because why leave free money on the table?
And that so-called free money will likely come at a cost. Uncle Sam, finance experts I talk with say that $18 is taxable income. So you'll be lucky if you get the full 18, which you won't, most likely.
Right. And I know you mentioned the lawsuit is about $4 million or so. So where's the other money going?
Yeah, a big shocker here. Most of the money goes to the lawyers. I meant that facetiously here. That's why there's so little left for the remaining customers who get letters like the one I showed you. The deadline to apply is this Sunday, and this case isn't done just yet. There is a hearing on the final approval of the settlement set for November. To watch more of my dollars and cents stories, head over to ABC10 Plus. You can find it under the news section. The app is available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. You can also email me your questions at lpainter@abc10.com.
A Stockton family is frustrated after discovering their loved one's headstones buried under inches of dirt and debris again.
Yeah, ABC10's Gabriel Porras spoke to the family and has their story.
My brother's, my dad's. My mom sits down there where the yellow flower is.
It was easy for Catherine Vermillion to find her relatives' burial markers Thursday, but only because she was here days ago.
I come out here Tuesday, you could not see any of these graves. They were just completely covered over, all the way to the ground. My brother had to dig my mom's out. We took our feet and tried to shove it off. We could not get it off.
But Tuesday wasn't a first.
We come out every holiday, every birthday, and it's the same thing. Last Mother's Day I come out here, I couldn't find my mom. I was in hysterics. That's not what you want to do on Mother's Day. I just expected more out of a cemetery.
We took those concerns to cemetery officials today who said they are aware of the issue and in short are trying their best with what they have.
We want to assure the community that we are here, we know our purpose, we are here to serve. It is a challenging environment. We are a nonprofit, we have our challenges.
The cemetery's operations manager says the challenges include animals like gophers making new holes in the dirt, burial markers sinking when grass is watered, and a 9-member staff charged with maintaining 72 acres and preparing new burials weekly.
We welcome the community to work with us and starting with bringing your concerns to us. Please do not leave frustrated.
Ruben says he's working on long-term solutions like creating schedules for each area to be checked weekly, selling larger cement burial marker frames, and even possibly partnering with other nonprofits.
I apologize for families finding the cemetery and specifically their family plots at times the way that they wouldn't expect. But we are making every effort.
But Catherine says she's tired of apologies and is ready for permanent change.
We're hoping for real change pretty soon. To be buried here with my family? No, not on a bet. It makes me feel sad.
In Stockton, Gabriel Porras, ABC10.
So what's being done to address this issue? The cemetery says it's still in the process of actually digitizing records to be able to tackle the concerns. Don't forget, 10 on Your Side is here to help you find solutions to issues that seem impossible to solve.
Along, not just the trash and the smell of the smoke blowing into my house when I had the windows open, but also just the noise. There would be a lot of, laughing and kind of like it was a break room right outside of my house.
We got results after a viewer sent us pictures showing UC Davis health employees using her front yard as a place to smoke and gather. We went straight to the hospital for answers. They say they've now told employees to avoid loitering, smoking, or littering in the surrounding area because caring for the community matters both inside and outside our facilities.
I thank you so much. I can't be more appreciative of everything that you did and stayed on top of it.
The Postal Service apologized to customers and promised to address concerns about mail delivery in Ione after viewers contacted 10 on Your Side. The Postal Service tells me they made the postmaster aware of the problem and he will work with the carrier to ensure proper delivery.
I understand. I sympathize with the frustration that postal customers feel when they don't get their mail.
10 on Your Side also got answers for a family that recently made a shocking discovery. Their daughter's grave had been moved at St. Mary's Cemetery and Funeral Center.
It's unfortunate. We definitely apologize for any pain and suffering.
I called cemetery leaders and spoke directly to Chief Operating Officer Scott Miller in search of answers.
And in measuring the area, there was a mistake made, again, by about 10 inches. It's very unfortunate. I think our groundsman took great care to be very respectful, to really not to disturb the remains of their daughter, to just slide her gently to the side so that we could honor the commitment also to this other family who had just lost a loved one.
I'm so grateful for you for reaching out and telling me that you've spoken with the COO, because it's like, okay, somebody knows, because I just felt like nothing was going to be done. Like it happened to you, so what?
And ABC10 is here to help. If you have a problem and don't know where else to turn, email me at onyourside@abc10.com.
And we know that homeowners insurance can be complicated and confusing. So I reached out to an insurance consumer advocate to find out what you should do if your policy is canceled.
Support consumers, not sell them on something. It's a policy Amy Bach grew into an organization over 3 decades ago.
A lot of people contact us because they've had something bad happen.
Bach co-founded United Policyholders, a nonprofit that helps insurance consumers in California and all other states navigate insurance rights, education, and preparedness.
A lot of people are reaching out to us here in California saying, I can't find insurance. It's so expensive. I can't afford it.
In California, more and more homeowners are being dropped from their policies. Companies are citing inflation, government regulation, and climate change as some of the issues. Bach says there's also another reason.
The bigger driver of what's happening in the insurance market is technology. The technology that insurers are now accessing that make risk looks so magnified to them.
Credit scores and aerial imagery are giving insurers a closer look at homeowners.
That information is scaring them out of doing what they've always done, which is to insure people's homes in return for premiums.
Whether you live in the foothills or the suburbs, it's likely you or someone you know has received a letter of non-renewal from your insurance company. Here's some tips on what you should do next. First, contact your insurance company. Find out why you've been dropped.
Ask your insurance company to give you copies of photos or tell you what it is about your property that is now a problem for them, and then give you a chance to fix it.
Make sure to send proof of any correction. If you're unable to stay with your current insurer, the second thing you should do is start shopping for a new policy right away.
2/3 of the people who lose their homes in wildfires come up short on their insurance for their dwelling. They're underinsured. The most important thing is to try to insure your home for close to what it would cost to rebuild it from the ground up if it were to be a total loss.
The third step is finding a good insurance agent or broker who has access to multiple options. Agents and brokers can help homeowners make informed decisions, find discounts, and tailor coverage. If you have to choose between insuring your home or the stuff inside it, Bach says always choose your home.
And that means you want to have enough dwelling coverage per square foot. In most parts of California, you want to have at least $250 to $300 a square foot in coverage on your dwelling.
Something else to consider is code upgrade coverage.
So that way you get an extra bucket of coverage if you have to make improvements to bring your home up to current code.
Avoid making small claims.
It goes on your record as a claim. And these days, any agent will tell you that the more claims you have on your record, the harder it is to find an insurance company that will insure you. Is that fair? No. Is it legal? Yes.
Reduce the risk of damage in a severe weather event.
You need to have defensible space around the house. So you're supposed to have at least 5 feet of clear space. No plants, no trees, no bushes.
Lastly, one of the easiest and cheapest things you can do:
create a video inventory of your home inside and out. Walk around your house, narrate, and then just save it someplace where you'll be able to find it. And hopefully you're never going to need it.
And remember, California rules require insurers to give homeowners a 75-day notice of non-renewal. United Policyholders has a directory of attorneys, public adjusters, and contractors, and free educational courses if you are a homeowner that needs some help. And we also have a resource guide on our website, ABC10.com. To go in depth on the insurance crisis in our state, make sure you head over to ABC10 Plus, our ABC10 Plus app. There you can find our investigation on California's insurance crisis. All you have to do is just look for it on the home screen.
I want people to read this book and see themselves and see their experiences reflected in the pages that they read.
ABC 10 was at American River College as she shared insights from her latest book and discussed what it means to be Latino in America today.
The main message of You Sound Like a White Girl, or the thing that I want people to come away with, is that I want them to walk into every room and feel like they belong there, because they do.
Julissa encourages her readers to thrive in their own skin.
To thrive in my own skin has really meant to be proud of where I come from, to be proud of my people, to be proud of my history.
Julissa came to the U.S. as an undocumented immigrant from Mexico as a child. As she writes about her childhood, growing up, and eventually landing a finance job on Wall Street, she explores racism, hypocrisy, and the power of language, especially English.
There is a passage in You Sound Like a White Girl where I write about my dad sort of shrinking every time that he spoke English. It really affected me, really made me feel like, what is this language that is doing that to my dad?
After reading her book cover to cover, I wanted to ask Julissa more about how writing this book helped her heal.
In some ways, yes, I am still on this healing journey because I think it never really ends. You know, you kind of have to keep reclaiming all of these things that sometimes you lose when you assimilate.
And part of that struggle is with identity. Julissa writes about the complexities of identity and pulling back the curtain on what it means to be Latino.
It's sort of said that Latino is an ethnicity, but not even all Latinos share the same culture, right? Even the words that we use to describe ourselves can cause controversy, right? Is it Latino? Is it Hispanic? Is it Latinx? Is it Latinx? So the biggest thing about Latino identity is that we have to define it for ourselves. So it's complex, but I think that there is a really beautiful thing about coming together as a community, even if we don't always agree on what our community should even be called.
Prop 36 would roll back changes to criminal laws in California that were made by voters a decade ago. In the year 2014, California voters passed Prop 47, downgrading a bunch of drug and theft crimes from felonies to misdemeanors. Prop 36 would reverse many of those changes. Right now, California laws make it a misdemeanor to steal property worth $950 or less. Under Prop 36, that crime would become a felony if the offender had 2 prior theft convictions. There's a big difference between these 2 levels of crimes. Misdemeanors don't always result in hard time, but when they do, it's a year or less in county jail. Felonies, on the other hand, can carry multi-year sentences, sometimes served in county jail, but often in a state prison. Prop 36 would require prison instead of jail in more felony cases. Prop 36 does contain changes to push some drug possession offenders towards treatment programs instead of prison. It also comes with what lawyers call a Watson advisement for drug dealers. On conviction, judges would put those offenders on notice that they could be charged for murder if they sell drugs again and somebody dies from using them. It costs money to put people behind bars. The state's fiscal analysts figure we're talking tens or possibly hundreds of millions of dollars more a year to house people in state prisons if Prop 36 passes. A yes vote on Prop 36 passes the package of tougher penalties for specific theft and drug crimes. A no vote rejects the measure, leaving the criminal law the way it is.
If there's one thing that the town of Fair Oaks is known for, it's chickens. The love affair for hens and roosters is so great in this Sacramento County community that every September they celebrate the birds.
So we do have a cluck off, you guys!
With a cluck and crow contest at the annual Chicken Festival. The competition is no yoke. This year's winner wasn't winging it. Judges say his impression was impeccable.
I would say this is like a lifetime achievement, actually.
Yeah.
You know, grew up in Amish country, around a lot of chickens, and been putting in the work, and got me here today.
The Fair Oaks Chicken Festival attracts chicken fans of all kinds, either to strut around in chicken clothing or to peck and choose a variety of foods that pique their interest. Do you feel bad about eating chicken at the Chicken Festival?
I do not feel it at all. This chicken is amazing flavor. This fried, crunchy structure is just like, it's like the song for my mouth.
Fair Oaks' love for chickens isn't just some feather-brained idea to attract tourists. Oh no. Chickens have been free-ranging around town for as long as anyone can remember.
They date back all the way to the early 1900s because we were a farming town.
Welcome to Oddbird.
Mylin Tompkins operates Odd Bird Rescue, a sanctuary. She watches over the feral chickens that roam around town.
How does she end up here?
He ends up here.
Sorry,
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Someone gets a hen. They think they're getting hens as little babies. They grow up as boys. They're not allowed to keep them in city limits, and they think, oh, I'll just take them to Fair Oaks because there's chickens here.
Abandoning chickens in Fair Oaks is actually a big problem, one that warrants a big fine if you're caught doing it.
It's considered cruel, and there is it's a code violation with the County of Sacramento, and it's up to $36,000 fine.
Oh my gosh, for dumping chickens.
Correct.
Chickens have always been raised on farms in Fair Oaks, but there is one man believed to have caused the feral chicken problem in town.
Reputedly, Hugh Gorman, our local artist, had some escapees from his house, which is across from the park. So naturally, the chickens had to cross the road to get to the park, and that started the band of feral chickens.
Ralph Carhart is with the Fair Oaks Historical Society and Parks Department. He says sometime in the 1970s and 80s, Hugh Gorman admitted to losing his chickens. At first, it wasn't a problem, but several years later, the population grew.
And then some media from downtown caught on to that and publicized it, and suddenly we became the chicken capital of the county.
Oh, there were always chickens running loose along here.
But the ones roaming Fair Oaks today may actually be here because of local artist Hugh Gorman, who let some loose in the early 70s.
Back in the year 2000, local artist Hugh Gorman told ABC10 how his escaped chickens populated downtown. Now in his 80s, Hugh Gorman was not healthy enough to talk to me, but Mylin says that the chicken flock he started downtown is actually starting to decline.
I feel like it's a little bit of everything. You know, there's a lot of conspiracy theories that have gone around.
Mylin says the chicken population started to decline around the same time that construction at the park started, but there's other factors too.
The construction displaces them. We have coyotes, we have raccoons, there's a lot of car traffic.
For now, the remaining chickens are taking up refuge wherever they can. People's backyards, back alleys, and with Mylin at Odd Bird Rescue.
That's egg-making food.
From Fair Oaks, the chicken capital of Sacramento County, I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Thanks so much for watching ABC10 This Week. We are here 24/7 on the free ABC10 Plus app. You can get your news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Chris Thomas. We'll see you next time.
Hundreds of thousands of policies canceled.
Insurance here in the state of California is dysfunctional.
People paying more for less.
I'm completely not covered for any kind of fire that happened.
The issue growing.
People can't afford to have the most valuable thing they own.
With no simple fix.
This is a long-term game. We're in the midst of the largest insurance crisis that we've lived through.
ABC10 investigates California's home insurance crisis. Stream now on ABC10 Plus